Now, this right here is bloody beautiful. The Hawks have done it again. What a win. What a brilliant win. Got a tough game next week, but there you go. Mic is working as well, so the intro worked. The Dogs had to ruin it though. Obviously they played before us, but yeah, I think they were still playing when we started our game. The Dogs had to beat Sydney. If they didn't beat, they had to ruin the weekend. If they just lost to Sydney, we would have been in the eight. But yeah, to be fair, fair play to the Dogs. That was a good win. So I'll accept that. Yeah. Well, here we are, back in the tipping stream, and let me just sort this part of the stream out. Hello, Mask, how you doing? Hello, Mason, how you doing? You still couldn't have finished first, yeah. What are you doing, AFL Legend though? What's up? Hello, T Colin. So yeah, I'm very happy about this result. Of course I would be. The Bulldogs had to bloody win as well, because so we're still not in the eights, but still, we'll take what we get. Got the Giants away next. It's going to be pretty damn huge. But yeah, you predicted the Dogs and Hawks by 16. Your joke tips. Your joke tips going to look better than your actual tips. My days, mate. But yeah. So yeah, I took a few risks obviously in this round. Clearly took the wrong risks. I should have tipped the Bulldogs, for sure. But yeah, I tipped Carlton. Port Adelaide pulled off a brilliant win, so fair play to them. Geelong beat North. Brisbane beat Gold Coast. Gold Coast's first home loss the entire season. They are no longer the easiest team to tip. Up to round 19, they were the easiest team to tip. They win at home, they lose away. But Brisbane have broken that streak now. Brisbane are now just 6 points off Sydney. Sydney still got... Sydney just need to win 2 games out of 4 because of their extremely good percentage. But Brisbane are still in with a sniff of first place, and Freo as well. But yeah, I'm sure either Freo or Brisbane will take second place anyway if they can't get first. Obviously, only 2 of those teams can get in the 2 of those teams get in the top 2. And Carlton obviously are lingering there as well. And obviously you got Giants, Geelong, Port just off. I don't see Port finishing top 2, but obviously you got to include in the conversation because they're just 2 points away from that position. Yeah, you won a lot of bets this weekend, apart from that Carlton game. You reckon Brisbane best in the AFL? Right now they're playing brilliantly. But yeah, this one's starting to slow too often. We've had poor pressure over the past few weeks. You got to brush up on that, mate. The finals are soon. Can't be dominating the whole season then flopping at the end. Then it just doesn't matter. So yeah, got St Kilda right. That's the one risk I got right. Essendon are choking really hard at the moment, and they're currently 10th. If you told me after that round 1 game where Essendon beat Hawthorn that we'd be above Essendon after 20 rounds, I'd be laughing at you. But here we are, and I'm laughing as well because, but this time in a good way and not in an ironic way. You got Giants beating Melbourne, so I got that tip just about right. Giants made a great comeback, and then they almost lost that lead in 1 quarter, but luckily they held on. Tip Freo, that looked a bit dodgy for most of the game, but they managed to get control eventually towards the end of the game. And then Collingwood beat Richmond. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. Went for Sydney. I thought they'd beat Bulldogs at the SCG. Clearly, I was wrong. I'm pretty sure I said there's no way they'll win. I also said there's no way Freo would win at the SCG as well. I'm just jinxing a lot of things this year. And Adelaide lost to Hawthorn. which I'm very happy with. That tip was a win-win. Obviously I want my team to win. That's the most important thing, and that's what happened. So I'm happy with that. If we didn't win, obviously I get my tip right. But obviously my tip doesn't matter anyway because I'm at all the competitions. Nowhere near the top in my competition anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, I'm very happy with that, and we're still not in the 8s, which is really frustrating. But yeah, that's because the Bulldogs got a very impressive win. In my comps, who's currently winning? How many hits have I got? I got 105. Okay. You don't think David rates Frio? He thinks Hawking Adelaide better than Frio. Where'd you get that from? Are you? I literally said that I tipped Hawthorn because they're in Tasmania. If we played Collingwood in Tasmania, I'd tip Hawthorn. Same with Adelaide. I tipped Hawthorn against Adelaide at home like months ago. What are you talking about? I literally looked Adelaide Oval. It's probably might be tough. I'll tip Adelaide. If you think I'm saying if I'm saying one team is better than the other based on tips, you're having a laugh, mate. You know how many times I tipped North Melbourne this year? Right. Yeah, 120. Someone's got 120. Might win the comp because there's only a few rounds left if they keep the rates up. Fair enough. And 127 overall someone's got. So none of my comp is top 50 overall. Fair enough. Okay. Why the flip is not okay. On to round 21. Let's see what we tip here. So I got to tip the Bulldogs in the first game. I like to take risks, but Melbourne are just too risky to take a risk on. They're just not winning games. The Dogs just beat Sydney at the SCG. They'll be full of confidence. I don't think they'll smash them though. I think just by a couple of goals. But I think the Dogs will beat them. I think, as Mask would say, a certainty, an absolute certainty. I'm gonna go Gold Coast to lose. I know the streak was broken last week. Gold Coast win every game at home, lose every game away. They lost at home, finally. But I'm gonna put that down to Brisbane being very good. So I'm gonna say Gold Coast. They've lost away every single time, even against North Melbourne and St Kilda. I know St Kilda found form recently, but at the time St Kilda were pretty bad. Lost to St Kilda, lost to North. They still haven't won a game away. I don't think that streak ends in this round, so I go for West Coast. North Melbourne against Richmond. This could be game of the round. I wouldn't be surprised if it is game of the round. Let me think about this one because I don't. A lot of people tip North clearly, but I wouldn't count Richmond out just yet. You thought the Dogs were not by that much. Watch David Fine tip the Hawks this week and they'll lose. You'd be surprised, mate. I don't know about that. Seems like that's the sort of match the Dogs would show up asleep for. I mean, it is a sort of match Dogs would lose, a game they should win. But I'm gonna back them for now. I'm actually not sure of this. Like in my eyes, this game is like 50-50. Because like obviously both teams have lost a lot of games, but they've looked okay in some of the games they've lost. They don't look hopeless like they did in the first few rounds. So it might be quite close and competitive. I'm going to go Richmond. Screw it. I feel like either tip is like risky anyway. These percentages don't reflect how close this game is going to be, in my opinion. If it was at Blundstone, I would have tipped North. I'm just putting it that way. I know it's at Marvel as well. It's not at the MCG, but if it was at Blundstone, I'm tipping North. But I got a feeling Richmond will beat them. Could be wrong, of course. could be wrong. Geelong will beat Adelaide. Geelong will beat Adelaide. Carlton on a bit of a losing streak. They do, of course, hate Collingwood. Sometimes hating a team is enough. It's enough of a motivator. Carlton obviously still want to get that. They're still in the top 4 for now. They want to stay in there. I'll go for Collingwood though. Collingwood have not been good either. That's the thing. I know they just won, but they beat Richmond in 18th place. So that's not really a parameter of they're back to winning ways. But I got a feeling they'll beat Carlton. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. If I tip against Hawthorn this week, you can't really blame me. I mean, I was going to tip the Giants anyway. I've been saying that for weeks now, so I don't think I'm changing now, despite our great form. I'm going to Port to beat Sydney. I trust Sydney quite a bit less now. It's funny, I remember I tipped against Sydney 2 weeks in a row, and it didn't happen, and I stopped doing it, and then they lost 2 games in a row. They lost the second and third games to Free and St Kilda. I just tipped against them the wrong weeks, and now they're losing more often, and I'm thinking, you know what? Port just got a very impressive win. I know Carlton not on good form, but they got an impressive win. I think maybe they could beat Sydney. So I'll go for Adelaide. I've gone for Giants to beat Hawthorn. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong. I sincerely hope that the Hawks win. The mighty Fighting Hawks. But yeah, we shall see. I'm pretty sure yes, SummerSlam is that night, and it ends at 4 a.m. So I don't know if I'll stay up. It depends how tired I am. But I could watch it live, but no promises. Okay, no promises. Essendon Fremantle. Essendon been choking games recently. Fremantle are not bad at the MCG. They've gotten some big wins there, not just this season. Fremantle, why not? St Kilda, Brisbane. Brisbane. Can't go against Brisbane's form at the moment. I don't think they've lost since the bye round. So these are my tips at the moment. Some risks, some no risks. We shall see how it goes. Pendlebury's 400th game, the big danger game for the Blues. They have been top 2 for last month, but still we can't be sure to make the 8. Just got home for that Oval. Oh yeah, I bet you had a great time, mate. That was we had a great win. Haven't seen any of the game yet, but we had a great win. Excuse me. Are Hawks making finals? I have more belief now. Yes, even if we lose to the Giants, because I think we can beat the Blues. I could be wrong, of course, but I think we can beat the Blues, and I think we'll win the last 2 games against Richmond and North. But yeah, I don't think we'll beat the Giants. The issue is we're not in the 8 right now, and that's because the Bulldogs won, and that's actually frustrating. Because you never know, if we lose to the Giants and every team above us, if we... Let me check. If we lose to the Giants and the Bulldogs win, then we're in a bit of trouble, because then we might have to beat Carlton. So, yeah. Kind of hoping the Bulldogs lose too, even though I think they'll beat Melbourne. But yeah, I think we're looking at Dogs, Essendon, maybe Melbourne. Maybe those are the sort of teams, and Collingwood, I guess. We'll be fighting all these teams for a final spot, I guess. So I'm kind of look at their fixtures. Maybe Port might drop, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens after round 21. Blues lose this week. They won't beat Hawks. They'll be out of the 8 and the Hawks will be in. I think the Dogs run home is going to be tough. Not really study who Hawks play. Shall we look at who everyone plays? Wish I had a ladder right here so I could check it properly. Right, so let's look at Let's look at Western Bulldogs first. Let's look at Dogs and Hawthorn at the same time. Actually, let's spice it up a little bit. Right. So the Dogs play Melbourne, Giants play Hawks. We know this part. Carlton versus Hawthorn and Adelaide versus Dogs. Interesting round once again. You got North, we got Richmond, and then we got North, and you've got GWS, but it is in Ballarat. Interesting. We should, I think we will beat Richmond and North. It's just a case of the Giants and Carlton games. We got to win at least one of those, and I think we can beat Carlton. I'm not confident on the Giants, but if we beat the Giants, that'd be a huge plus. We have won away against the Giants a few times, not that long ago actually. But can we do it this year? I don't know. I don't think we did it last year. Let's look at Essendon, Melbourne, and Collingwood at the same time. Okay, obviously you got this game, Collingwood Carlton, Essendon Freo, Sydney Collingwood. Okay, there's there's no way Collingwood win that, right? There's no way. Welcome, Mark. Why does Mark always comment that? He never comments anything else. I'm so confused. Is he like a real person? Is he a bot? I think he's a bot because he never says anything else. He just types that same message on like so many videos. Hello, 69, how are you doing? Essendon Freo, Sydney Collingwood, Essendon Gold Coast. Should beat Gold Coast. They lose away all the time, right? Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Essendon Sydney, Gold Coast Melbourne, Collingwood Brisbane. Brisbane Essendon, Melbourne Collingwood round 24 is okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. What we're looking at next. Port and Geelong. Let's go Port and Geelong. I hate I got to scroll down all the way. just load the next game. Geelong got Adelaide at home. Port got Sydney at home. Freo, Geelong, Melbourne, Port Adelaide. Okay, every game is significant here. You got Adelaide showdown, Saints Geelong. Saints on good form as well, so Geelong will find that tough. Okay, West Coast is a good last game to have, and Port have got Freo at Optus. Freo will win that. Yeah, I think Fremantle will win this game. So Port, I don't know if they'll be in trouble because if they beat Sydney and they beat Melbourne, they could be all right. But obviously a long way to go. Look at the Giants and the Blues. I didn't know Grasm was the bestie. I didn't know where did this come from. Where's this info from? What's going on? Right, where were we? So you got Collingwood Carlton, obviously Giants have got us. Brisbane GWS. That's big. At the Gabba. Excuse me. At the Gabba, Lions should win. And they, in general, not just the Gabba, they're playing well in general, so the Giants should win that. The Lions should win that game really, but I think it could be quite a good game to watch. Carlton Hawthorn, obviously. Got the Giants playing Freo. Carlton got West Coast at Optus. You never know, that could go wrong. Carlton St Kilda and Western Bulldogs GWS. Round 24 is going to be a banger. Round 24, I cannot wait, mate. That is bloody annoying, bro. Alright, let's look at Brisbane and Freo, and then we'll look at the current first place. Carlton doomed. May get 1 or 0 wins rest of the year. Essendon, Freo. Saints, Brisbane. Obviously, we've seen some of the games already because we've gone through the other teams. Yeah, they're both playing big teams there. Got Brisbane, GWS, Freo, Geelong. So Freo got Essendon away, then Geelong at home. Brisbane got Saints away. Saints on good form, and then Giants at home. And then Freo got Giants away. Collingwood had got, sorry, not Collingwood. Brisbane had got MCG. Collingwood the MCG. The Brisbane got Essendon. Freo got Port Adelaide. So Freo have got Essendon, Geelong, Giants, and Port. I think they win at least 2 of those. We'll see about the others. And then Brisbane have got Saints, Giants, Collingwood, Essendon. Interesting finish to the season. Essendon might be finished at this rate. I don't know why I didn't realise that when I got for Essendon's list. Now let's look at Sydney, and just Sydney alone. Can they finish first? Have they got enough easy games? Port Adelaide away. Collingwood at the SCG. Essendon at Marvel. Adelaide SCG. You should win 2 of those. Sydney just got to win 2 of these, right? They've got that, surely. What's up, Epic Indian? But Sydney have just got to win 2 games, right? Because there's 4 games left. They've got 6 points plus that percentage. Unless the Lions have like a ridiculous percentage swing. Or Freo, I guess. And these lot are 2 wins behind them as well. Sydney have got first. There's no way they don't win 2 of these. I'm not trying to jinx anything, I'm just saying. They'll beat Adelaide for sure. They'll probably beat Collingwood. They'll win the 2 home games. And they'll probably beat Essendon as well, actually. It's still, if they beat Port, then fair enough. If we lose 2 and Freo Brisbane win 4, we could drop first place. Oh yeah, it's sorry, that's my bad. Sorry, I was thinking 8 points, not 6. Okay, that's my bad. That's my bad. Okay, so you got to win 3 games. Okay, so now it gets interesting. You got to win 3 of these. If the other 2 win 4, of course, that could always not happen. They could both drop, lose 1 game. That you need just 2 wins. Okay, so if these 2 win the last 4 games, you need 3 wins. If they lose 1, you need 2 wins. If they lose 2, you need 1 win. They won't lose 2. Imagine Sydney don't get first after dominating the entire season. That would be insane. Brisbane and Hawks, 2 best teams in it. Interesting. I'm not sure we're the top 2 teams in the comp, but we might be in the finals. If we do make the finals, it'll be 7th or 8th. So I'm trying to think who we'd rather play. Because I don't want to play Giants in week 1. I don't know about you, but Giants away in week 1. Do we want to play Geelong week 1? They've got our number. They've smashed us twice. I guess we'd want Port Adelaide or Carlton. As I don't think the Dogs will get that high up. if let me ask you guys a question. If your team is in 8th place, who'd you rather play? Who'd you rather is in 5th? I'm curious. I guess the same question applies to if you're 7th. Who'd you rather be in 6th? Like, who ideally would you want to play if you finished 8th or 7th? I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe Port Adelaide or Carlton. One of those two. Although I'm disregarding the teams below us as well, who could still finish 5th. You don't think there's room for both Port and Hawthorn in the 8? What about the Bulldogs? No guarantee they'll make it. Maybe Ports just don't want to beat them earlier. Don't think we'll be able to make the 8 well, either Carlton or Port dropping out. What if the Bulldogs drop out? Are we not considering this possibility? But we shall see how that all goes. But yeah, these are my tips. So I've gone for the Bulldogs to beat Melbourne, because they should beat Melbourne. Gold Coast lost every game away. Yes, I know they finally lost at home last week, but I'm going to tip West Coast, because Gold Coast always lose away. I've got Richmond to beat North in the battle to avoid the spoon. I've gone for Geelong to easily beat Adelaide. Collingwood, I think, will beat Carlton. I think it'll be quite a close game. Maybe go similar to the last game they played. I'm pretty sure Collingwood won that in the last 2 minutes. Port Adelaide to beat Sydney. I think they can do it. They got a great win just now, yesterday. A couple of days ago, actually. And Sydney are losing more games recently, so I've lost a bit of trust in them. I think the Giants to beat Hawthorn, but obviously I hope I'm wrong. Gone for Freo to beat Essendon. I think that can happen. Essendon have been choking games recently. Plus, Freo are not bad at the MCG. And when they do play well, they can play really well. But they got to start a bit faster than they did against West Coast. And I'm going for Brisbane's form against St Kilda. St Kilda on good form. They're playing better. But I think Brisbane, the fact they haven't lost since the bye round and they're currently second and charging, I can't go against them. So I'll go for Brisbane there. So yeah, I think this could be a potential 9, you know. If anyone lets me down, it's Richmond. But I think this could be a potential 9. As long as we drop out, as Mr. Cat says, declares their certainties. You just tipped them against Melbourne, so that's out. Yeah, I tipped Adelaide against Hawthorn, mate. Did it mean Adelaide won the game? Like we're just assuming things based on my tips now, are we? Adelaide just got obliterated by Hawthorn. No way they beat us. Mr. Katz. I just like to point something out to you, mate. I just like to point something out to Mr. Cat. Alright? Western Bulldogs just missed out on finals, right? You just missed out on finals because you couldn't beat 2 of the worst teams in the comp last year. And you're acting like you're guaranteed to beat Adelaide. You gotta humble yourself a bit, mate. This is the exact time of year that you lost that final spot. Bloody hell, you beat Geelong at GMHBA and you still couldn't make it. Because you lost these 2. We were so bad last year, so were West Coast. West Coast almost got the spoon, mate. Did they even get the spoon? I don't know if they got the spoon or not. I think, was it North? North got the spoon, right? It just got it at the end. So how is Adelaide a guaranteed win for you if this happened last year? Like, you know, you gotta just relax. You gotta stop acting like the wins are guaranteed. I do think you'll beat Melbourne and Adelaide, but you acting confident after last year is really funny. And your excuse was, we didn't take them seriously. You were fighting for the finals, mate. You got to take every game seriously. He still want to admit 3 was the Hawks' hardest game of the 5 matches, not the easiest. What? Which 5 games did you mean though? Because I'm pretty sure I included Geelong. So how was it the hardest game if we played Geelong? It was these 5 here. What do you mean? The hardest game was Geelong, but yes, Freo was harder than Collingwood and Adelaide, which is fair. But also the Giants could be a harder game than Freo. So, but all I'm saying is I knew this was a win, and I told you all. You all told me we're not going to win. I knew that was a win, and we won. Yes, it was harder than Collingwood and Adelaide, but we won. David's 2 biggest flexes. 1, Western Bulldogs lose out on the 2023 finals because of Hawthorn and West Coast. 2, Hawthorn being the reason 3 have no flags. You forgot, mate. 3. You forgot number 3. My days. You see, Mr. Cat's making excuses about losing to Hawthorn and West Coast last year. There was no excuse for a team fighting for finals to lose those 2 games last year. Last year, Adelaide winning trophy. Who cares? Who cares? Okay, mate. 2016, Dogs won the flag. Who cares, guys? Who cares? If he's saying last year doesn't matter, then neither does 8 years ago. let's live in the now. Then let's live in the now. Right now, after 20 rounds, you and Hawthorn are equal on points. Okay, think about that for a second. And we were awful the first 5 rounds. You should be a bit higher than us, mate. What's happened? We all knew the 2 last games were easy Hawks wins, and you refused to listen. What do you mean we all knew? There were people that told me Collingwood would win as well. What do you mean? We all knew. I think Mars thinks he represents all 5,000 people here. Hey, Mr. Cat, we don't know what you look like. You always talk about height here and height this, height that. We don't know what you look like. So, as far as we're concerned, you're 4'5". Met Davidoff is 6'8". I appreciate you bumping my height up, mate, but I'm 5'8". I do appreciate you putting a foot extra on my height, though. That's very. I appreciate that. We can find it in the stream chat. Mr. Cat said Dogs would beat Eagles by 120 that they lost. That's typical Mr. Cat, mate. Is everybody loving the equestrian? Haven't watched any Olympics yet, to be fair. And because Mr. Cat expected an easy win, so he went to the game and got humiliated. And then he doesn't go to a game. Mr. Cat doesn't go to games. He only goes to Best and Bulldogs games if he thinks they'll win. He did it last year and they lost to West Coast. So now he doesn't go anymore. He sits at home because he's afraid they'll lose. And now he's in the YouTube chat acting like, oh yes, we're going to win this game and win that game. Why don't you go to the games and find out for yourself, mate? Are you worried you'll jinx it again? Come on now. You told me cats are on average 25 centimeter high. That horse played like a crow. I think Mr. Cat is salty right now. He just can't take the fact that he's short. It's unbelievable. That horse played like a crow. There's still 916 people left in the gauntlet. I wish I could see like who's in it and just like see. I just want to see like what teams people paid tip to get this far, because there are people still in it, and I wonder like who they got left. Surely they got Richmond and North left. One of them left, surely. My good old West Coast scaring Mr. Cat. No one asked, Mr. Cat. No one asked. Will Carlton make the 8? I guess we'll find out. At the moment, I still think they will, but obviously, they're only 4 points away from the teams in 8th and 9th. With a better percentage. No, actually, no. Bulldogs got better percentages than them, actually. So they are in a bit of trouble. Mr. Cat is an omen to his own team. Look, if Carlton lose and Hawthorn beat GWS, then you got a very nice playoff right there. Epic, anyone to remind me what happened to Will Collingwood? Who's Will Collingwood? Is that a real person? Will Collingwood. He goes to university, mate. Why do you want to talk about him? What's going on? What's happening? What's going on here? Prelim finals: Swans v Hawks, Brisbane v Dogs. Why are you acting like we're definitely gonna make the prelim, mate? Calm down. They did beat Carlton a couple of weeks ago. What do you mean trying to be funny? You're the one that's trying to be funny, mate. You're talking about Will Collingwood. Why bring up him? What did he do to you? They beat Carlton a couple weeks ago. You happy Saints beat Essendon Oils? Essential Oils. Essential Oils, okay. Mr. Cat is a cat for all we know. How do you know, mate? Because what we've discovered in the past few months is Mr. Cat is a fraud, so he probably isn't a cat. I think it's very possible he's a different animal. We will not disclose which one it is. Get even told us to go to bed, something like that, I don't know. So by that logic, Moss McGee a mask? No, Moss McGee is Bart Simpson, what do you mean? Mr. Cat is a cat abuser. Here we go, the allegations again. Now, we all know Meme Number is a KFC bucket fan. Think you meant essential oil. You see how Mr. Cat's not denied that he's a cat abuser. He's been caught in the act. Mask McGee just Mask McFraudgee. Still don't understand how Mask logic of you saying Hashtag Hyde applies to you abusing cats. What he's saying is cats do hide, so he's assuming that you have cats and you're forcing them to not hide when they're hiding. That's why he's saying is that you abuse them. What Mars said around your 2016 prelims? You don't understand yourself either. Oh, wait, did he say that? Apparently, Mr. Cat said he pulls them out of their hiding spots. I don't remember this detail. You can't be pulling cats out of areas. That is a little bit abusive. At least you're not hitting them, but you can't be pulling them out of places they want to be pulled out of. That's ridiculous. Mr. Cat's a good speaker for a cat. He's definitely not a cat, mate. He's a different sort of animal. Well, this stream has been fun. We've been at 41 minutes. All we're meant to do is tip 9 games. But, Mr. Cat is Mr. Fraud. So we got Fraud McGee versus Mr. Fraud. Of course cats hide. They are ambush hunters. Yeah, it's instinct, isn't it? He's a snake. What if actually James Alive is sitting behind David? What do you mean you never know? Well, you're aware I bought James Alive when I was like 6, right? So are you telling me you're older than me? So are you like 45 years old or something? Because I've had James Alive for decades, like literal decades. Did you know a snake will always lose to a cat in a fight because the cat's reflexes are faster? Yeah, I've seen videos of that. I've seen videos of a snake trying to attack a cat and it just slapped it out of the way. It just slapped its head so quick. Who knows if he's a cat? It's 2024. You could be anything these days. So Mr. Cat is a 45-year-old, 4'5" elephant. That's what we've gathered here. So that is his new status. Elephants are quite nice when you don't aggravate them. I don't think he's an elephant. He's a rhino. We'll go with rhino. I'm trying to think of a cool animal that's not a cat. But rhinos are very, very smelly, so it might be on brand. Because Mr. Cat did go to McDonald's and piss on the wall, so we gotta take that into account. Maybe a rhino would do that. Well, that is it for today. So once again, going through my tips. Tip the Bulldogs because I think they're favourites. I think they should win that game. Melbourne are just in bad form, so it's hard to trust them. West Coast to beat Gold Coast. Gold Coast obviously lost their first home game last week, but they've still lost every away game. And I think West Coast will beat them. North Richmond, 50-50 for me. Either result could happen. I've gone for Richmond. Either result is a risk really because I think it'd be quite close. Geelong I think will smash Adelaide. Collingwood I think will just beat Carlton. Carlton have been losing a few games here and there. Collingwood have as well. But I think Collingwood can beat Carlton for sure. And because they hate each other, they'll both really try and get each other. So it could be quite a really good game. Port, I think, will beat Sydney. Sydney have lost a few more games recently. and Porter got a good win against Carlton, so I think they can actually pull off the win against Sydney. Giants to beat Hawthorn. Giants are playing much better now, so are we, but I don't think they're as good as the Giants. I hope I'm wrong though. I hope we win the game. Hopefully we can go and do that. Fremantle to beat Essendon. Essendon losing a few games recently. Fremantle are not bad at the MCG. And they just beat the West Coast Eagles. They need to do better than they did in that game, though. Against West Coast Eagles, they were pretty bad for at least half the game. They got to fix that problem. And they can pull off the win as long as they turn up. But will they turn up? That's the question. Brisbane to beat St Kilda. St Kilda on good form. They're playing well. But I'm backing Brisbane's form more. They've not lost since the bye round, and they're storming into second, considering they had their season over at one point. To being second place is pretty damn good, and they've not lost since the bye round. So I'll go for Brisbane there. So that is my reasoning. With this fool's accusations, continuously bragging about the fact that the Bulldogs went in the finals because Hawthorn beat them. You know, it's funny. I mentioned that once in the stream and Mr. Cat remembers. But as soon as I say, I tip Hawthorn pessimistically 55 times a stream, he's just like, I don't watch every minute of the video, mates. How would I know? This guy only listens to what he wants to hear. Anyway, this is it illegal to brag for the dogs or something? It is for a cat abuser. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.